All right, today we're going to take notes on the Unit 2 test review. We're going to go through a variety of examples, and we're going to fill in the steps that those examples need to follow as we go through them. We'll kind of jump around to those steps as we go based on the type of problem that we see. All right, so the very first type of problem that we saw, for example A, well, this is one that looked like this. 2/9 x equals -4. All right, so to solve this problem, focused. We need to get x by itself, and we need to multiply by the reciprocal. We don't want to divide by 2/9 on both sides. That's dividing fractions, and they have to do keep, change, flip. So to alleviate that problem, we'll just multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 2/9 is 9/2. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So that is step 5. Step 5 is going to tell us to multiply or divide to get the variable alone. So on the left side, when I multiply by the reciprocal, those cancel out, and I'm left with x. On the right side, I'd write that as -4/1. -4 and 2 have common factor of 2, so -4 divided by 2 is -2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So -2 times 9 is -18/1, or just straight up -18. Now normally we would check, and that would be step 6. So I plug -18 back in for x. 2 times -18 is -36. -36 divided by 9 would equal -4. So that is our correct answer. Okay, but that's only 2 of our 6 steps. So let's go to example B. 6x minus 3 equals 4x plus 7. All right, an example like this, we need to get the variables to one side and the constants to the other. So now we're on to step 3. Step 3 tells us to use inverse operations to move all variables to one side. All right, so I would say I'm going to move this 4x from the right side to the left side. It is a positive 4x, so the inverse of adding 4x would be subtracting 4x. I know it's positive because there's no sign in front of it. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So now I'm left with 2x minus 3 equals 7. So we moved all the variables from the left side, from the right side to the left side. So step 4 tells us to use inverse operations again to move all constants to the opposite side. Meaning, I have -3 and I have 7. I get to get them to the same side, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And by adding 3 to both sides, I'm now left with 2x equals 10. And that leads us into step 5, multiply or divide to get the variable alone. All right, so it's 2 times x. I have to do the inverse, which is to divide by 2 on both sides. And that leaves us with x equals 5. When I check that, 6 times 5 is 30. 30 minus 3 is 27. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 7 is 27. It works. It balances out. X equals 5. But I am missing 2 steps still. So let's go to our last example, example C. 2 parentheses 3x plus 5 end parentheses equals 5 parentheses 2x minus 4 end parentheses minus 4x. As soon as we see these parentheses, we know we have to get rid of them. So that's step 1. We get rid of them by using the distributive property. I'm just going to say distribute. Okay, so if I go back down to my example, I have to distribute the 2 to both parts inside and the 5 to both parts inside. 6x plus 10 equals 10x minus 20, and I'm going to bring down the minus 4x. All right. Step 2, I have a couple of like terms on the same side. So that would be step 2, combine like terms on the same side. When I combine them on the same side, I don't use inverse operations to do that. I just combine them. I only use inverse operations when I'm going across the equal sign. So 10x minus 4x, that's 6x. Bring down minus 20, bring down the 6x plus 10 on the left side. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides, like it says on step 3, to move all the variables to the left side. And when I get them all to the left side, I have 10 equals negative 20, because that canceled out and that canceled out. Well, 10 does not equal negative 20, and no variables are left, so this is a no solution. I cannot check this because I don't have a number to work with. Now, if I was left with 10 equals 10, then that would be an identity, and I could check that by plugging in any number for x to make sure the left side balances the right side. But nothing works. No variable is going to work. There's no number I can plug in to have the left side balance the right side, so we leave it as a no solution. We can't check it, so we hope for the best. That's all I got.